Hi, I'm Del Gilbert, founder of Accelerating Excellence. Brian Tracy has said, "Your life today is the result of all your choices and decisions in the past. When you make new choices, you create a new future." That's a very powerful statement and a very true statement. In this video, I'd like to share with you a simple formula for making good choices. This formula has been extremely helpful to me, not just in everyday life, but also at some very crucial turning points. The formula was developed by Tim Kite, and here is the formula. E plus R equals O. E stands for event, R stands for either react or respond, and O stands for outcome. When an event happens in your life, you have a choice. You can simply react to the event, or you can choose to respond. Reactions are immediate, impulsive, and arise from emotion. When you simply react to an event, it will likely lead to a poor outcome. Responses, on the other hand, are measured, evaluated, and thought out. When you choose to respond to an event, in other words, think things through, the result is likely a good outcome, a positive outcome. Let me give you an example. Let's say someone cuts you off in traffic. That is an event. Your reaction, your immediate impulse, may be to want to give the person the one-finger salute or honk long and hard at the person. And that may feel good in the moment, but if you do afterwards, at best, you'll feel like you didn't handle the situation very well, and at worst, it could lead to an incident of road rage. Obviously, neither of those are the outcome you want. If instead you choose to respond, you decide in this instance to just let it go, you will have a better outcome. You are increasing your self-discipline. You're not allowing other people to control your emotions, and you're avoiding a potentially harmful confrontation. But that's a relatively small example. Let me share with you how the E plus R equals O formula has helped me at two important turning points in my life. The first was back in 2015, when the hospital I was working for was experiencing significant financial trouble. To save money, they eliminated several positions. Mine was one of them. And frankly, I didn't see it coming. I was shocked, and it was very hard emotionally. But even back in 2015, I did know of the formula E plus R equals O. And I kept telling myself, I can either choose to focus on the event, or I can concentrate my energies in creating the outcome I want. Now, to be transparent, there were times when I did focus on the E. From time to time, I would think about what a foolish decision it was to lay me off, or I would think of all the other people they should have laid off instead. But that wasn't going to change the event. Focusing on the event wasn't going to lead to the outcome I wanted. Instead, by and large, I chose to respond, to focus on the outcome rather than obsess about the event. Now, it wasn't easy, but I kept reminding myself, focus on the O, not the E. Choose your response, don't just react. That won't serve you well. I intentionally focused my thoughts, and more importantly, my actions, in starting my own training and speaking business. The result is Accelerating Excellence. You see, we are all responsible for our choices. We are all response-able. The second time E plus R equals O was extremely helpful to me was when COVID hit. In a matter of 1 week in March of 2020, all my future training and speaking engagements were canceled, and I saw my future income become entirely extinguished right before my eyes. And again, it was a very tough time. But what good does it do me to concentrate on the event? In this case, COVID. I can't change it. And sitting around asking, why me? Or why does this have to happen? Doesn't do me any good. I began to direct my energy to the O, the outcome I wanted. Now, at that time, because all my future events were canceled, I had time on my hands. So I began focusing my energy on creating on-demand online courses, which eventually turned into the Accelerating Excellence Online Academy. And now that my in-person speaking and training is picking back up, I have several training options to offer clients. I'm convinced that my business will be stronger than before COVID because I have more ways to provide training. Now, I don't mean to come across like I have it all together, because I certainly don't, or that it was easy to choose my response rather than react. It was hard, very hard. And there were times when I had a temporary pity party. And there were times that I did react rather than respond. But for the most part, the E+R= formula gave me real clarity to make good, solid choices. So, how can you apply the E+R=O formula in your life? I'd like to share 3 steps you can take to make good choices. When an event happens, number 1, when tempted to simply react, stop and pause. Understand that initial feelings and immediate reactions rarely make for good choices. So decide to stop and pause. Number 2, think about the outcome you want. Tim Kite calls this getting your mind right. Here are some good questions to ask yourself. How can I make the best of this situation? Given my circumstances, what is the wise thing to do? What outcome do I want? How will this choice impact me, my future, and the ones I love? And will this choice take me down the path that I want to go? And step number 3, take actions that will move you toward the outcome you want. Now, this will likely be a hard choice. This may be a choice that goes against your feelings and emotions. Jim Rohn has said, everyone must choose between 2 pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You either live with the hard consequences of simply reacting, or you live with the positive outcomes of making hard choices. When an event in your life requires you to make a choice, you get to choose your hard. So choose wisely. Where can you choose to respond rather than react? In what situations do you really need to focus on the outcome rather than obsess about an event that you can't change? Remember, in the critical moment of decision, you can either react or choose to respond. Simply reacting is rarely the best choice. Reacting may feel good in the moment, but often lead to disastrous consequences. It's been said many times, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond. For every choice we make, there is a result. So, before you make a choice, pause and play the end of the movie. Don't lose sight of the end game. Don't sacrifice what you want most for what feels good in the moment. I'm Dale Gilbert, and this is another Accelerating Excellence Insight.